Hi, guys. I'm Noah, and here's a heart-wreck story of my first love. Just sitting around the street corner having a cup of tea, which had gone cold, I saw her in her favorite pink-colored dress coming out of a Chevrolet Camaro. Only then I realized how long it has been that I haven't seen her. It was the last summer when we had this big fight. I used to work at a small coffee house when I first saw Scarlett coming in with her girls and asked for a cup of latte. I got lost in her beautiful eyes. While sitting with her friends, she was talking about getting a job at La Pamela's. So, I figured either she could be a waitress or chef at the restaurant. I wasn't able to attend to other customers while she was sitting there. She left the coffee house after 15 minutes, and I just continued looking at her. And this continued for almost 3 months. She would come there sometimes alone, and sometimes with her friend. One cold night, I told Harry, who was my best friend since high school, about her. And he seemed happy to know that I fell in love with this girl and worried at the same time if she was the right choice for me. He suggested me to go to her and talk to her. But I was so naive and afraid that I might scare her off that I couldn't get the courage to talk to her. Then, the other day, somehow I gathered the courage and went to a restaurant where she worked. She was serving the food at that time. I sat at one of the tables and waited until she got off from her shift. As soon as she left the restaurant, I went to her and said, "Hi, I'm Noah." Before I said anything, she said she remembered me from the coffee house and introduced herself, saying her name is Scarlett. Without thinking twice, these words just got out from my mouth that her name was as beautiful as she was. I felt relieved as she laughed at my pickup line. Then I asked her if she would like to go for a coffee with me. She said yes, she would like to. Next day, we went for a coffee and talked for hours. She was like a free bird and did whatever she wanted to. She told me where she grew up and how she ended up here. I told her how I managed to continue my college with my part-time job. We went out for a couple of times, and I asked her if she will be my girlfriend. She seemed surprised. She came closer to me and hugged me, saying yes in my ears. And I was so happy that finally I was in a relationship with a girl I loved. As soon as I went home, I told Harry, where he didn't seem much happy, and he talked about the fact that I was just a college boy who worked part-time at a coffee house and that I wouldn't be able to afford many things she would want in future. He was right, but Scarlett never seemed like a person who would make a big deal out of it. I introduced Scarlett to my friends in college also. They all liked her, and of all, Oliver, from my history class, liked her so much that he started inviting us over to his big house parties. He would always insist me to bring Scarlett with me wherever we met. He was a spoiled son of business tycoon, and one day, Oliver asked me about her mobile number, and I couldn't control my anger and threw a fist at him while standing in a hallway. He went crazy and said he would get her like a child's game, and she would leave me for him. After a couple of days, Harry came to me and told me he saw Scarlett with Oliver. I said it wasn't possible and that she was so happy with me. Harry put a seed of distrust in my head that I couldn't shake off. It was always the best time that I used to spend with Scarlett. We were all good and living like a normal couple, having little disagreements over the course of time, until one day, I was crossing the road behind La Pamela's to go to surprise her. As soon as I crossed the road, I saw her standing with Oliver, talking so comfortably and smoothly holding his hands. I neither let her know that I saw them, nor I asked any questions, because I didn't want it to be true that she started dating Oliver behind my back, and waited for her to tell me that Oliver came to a restaurant to see her. But things got bad between us after that. She started big fights about little things and started complaining about my part-time job. When I couldn't resist, I asked her one day if the reason behind all fights was Oliver or not. She got upset and started fighting again, saying I was having trust issues with her. So, I thought might be I was wrong about them. To stop all the chaos, I apologized and asked her to forgive me for everything I did. On Valentine's Day, I again went to her restaurant with some flowers and chocolates to make things work again, where I found out that she left the job a week ago and now works at the swell textile industry of Oliver's father. She didn't even tell me that she had left the job and started a new one. I tried to call her, but she didn't respond. I went to her home and she wasn't there, but her mother, Mrs. James, handed me over a piece of paper saying that she left a note for me, which was saying, "We should break up. I couldn't finish the line as tears filled up my eyes. Was I wrong not listening to Harry's advice? Does money matter so much that someone could just walk away from anyone's life so easily? Should I believe in the power of love or power of money now? What is more important to you? Have you ever had a close call like this before?